stuff and all these new things. It's like, what if it was just easier? What if it was simple?
Mm.
Hmm. How can we make it simple?
Here's the trap a lot of professionals and owners fall into. When work gets messy, we assume the answer is a new tool, a new app, a new system. And for about a week, it feels like progress. Then the team doesn't use it. The data breaks, people get lost, customers get lost, and somehow you're doing more work just to manage this new thing that was supposed to be helping you. If you've been in that place where your work looks organized because of apps and sheets and tools and dashboards, but you still feel like the only thing holding it together is you, then this episode is for you. I interview Alex, no code freelancer and co founder, and he helps businesses move from analog, manual chaos into simple, connected systems that actually help work. One line he said really sets the stage for the three-part series. Most people don't have a tool problem, they have a system problem. In part one of this three-part series, we're starting at the foundation while building fast isn't the win. Adoption is the goal. The right habits and language shift you from being the doer in your business to actually owning it. All right, let's jump in and start with part one of our interview with Alex.
So yeah, where are you located?
Located in here in Lanzarote, that's in the Canary Islands, in Spain,
Okay,
Europe.
very good, very good. So what
Thank you.
time is it
For
for
me,
you?
it's 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, so
Yeah. What time is
five,
it for you?
10 o'clock, 10 a.m.
10 o'clock. That,
Yeah.
yeah, good time.
Yeah. So cool. Well, so I've been interviewing the people doing the work and the people helping people do the work. And so a lot of my
Interesting.
time with Glide developers has been
Mm-hmm.
actually a nice bridge of both because I found that um, as no coders, we step into this space. Oh, we can build and solve problems. Oh, wait, I also have to build a business. Like there's new things to learn.
Yeah,
And so I'm just have a list of questions and we'll just have a conversation. And with the end goal of
of
this
course.
being an audio podcast and probably a video on my YouTube channel. Um, and you can use, anyways, we can talk about how that can work in the future. This is like my
Yeah.
sixth or seventh one of these that I've done in the past 2 weeks. So I have a lot of like editing to do and find someone to do
Yeah.
the editing for me.
Of
So it's going to be a little while before I get all of that out there. And but
course.
yeah,
No,
cool.
super cool that you do that. I really like the idea. I mean, must be very interesting, and I think someone also in the space should do that because it will be a nice channel for some of us to
Yeah,
go into, learn from
yeah,
each other.
yeah.
So
And
it's
I'm
amazing.
also I'm finding like I interviewed a roofing sales guy a couple
Mm-hmm.
weeks ago, and it's like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
like Glide experts need to hear what he needs. Zapier experts, like all these people, like can solve so many
Yeah.
problems. And so it's fun to see that. And I hope to be like a connection as well, kind of create this like hub so that people who do the work that have friction and pain can connect with people who can solve problems.
Mm.
So that's just like I want people to experience freedom for what matters most.
Yeah.
Because we can always have this
Yeah.
like tension of, I mean, like, oh, I have to work. There's this life, there's this other stuff, and all these new things. It's like, what if it was just easier? What if it was simple?
Mm.
Hmm, how can we make it simple? Um,
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's your name, right? You call it
yeah,
Simplify Work.
yeah,
We always like to talk about the happier workspace
okay.
because we're all about this. So it's like for us, work should be easy, and of course we saw also we're like maybe a bit younger generations than some business owners are, and we see how much they struggle with even the simplest of stuff.
Yeah,
And so this idea of like a simpler or like a happier workspace in our words,
yeah,
it's ultimately also our idea, right? I mean, they're coming more strategic steps to do in the operational stuff, but the idea is that everyone just feels a bit more light in the
yeah,
day-to-day office work. Yeah,
yeah. Kind of like that weight comes off. It's like,
exactly.
yeah, because we like work is not a bad thing. It's that the heaviness that we feel of the weight that kind of holds us back or
Yeah,
keeps us stuck. Um,
yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah, exactly. And also, it's like we're so there's so much burden around the actual work people doing, right? I mean,
yeah,
I don't know the statistics, but I always loved reading these articles about how effective people are actually working in their 40 hours work week.
yeah,
And so much of it, it's not used in the actual work, right? It's a shame.
yeah,
And it's not needed, right? And it gets harder and harder for businesses to afford actually this kind of working environment because you get more competitive and things are faster.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
our approach. Yeah.
Nice. So cool. I'd love to hear share just briefly about your company, like the name and kind of your I don't know if you have a mission statement, but yeah, I'd love to
Mhm.
share briefly
Sure.
about your work.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, to give the very quick overview, I'm Alexander. I'm originally from Austria, co-founder of Quapso. Quapso stands for Custom App Solutions, and our idea is to tap into happier workspace. So we are working with businesses, medium-sized businesses, which are right now very analog and very manual,
Mm,
and our whole vision is to bring them into a more automated and maybe in the future an AI
yeah.
driven operations. So that's our whole approach. And maybe to give a big background on this, I laughed when you said in the intro about there's like client people and there's like business owners. We are actually the ones who came also from customer side. So
Okay.
me and my co-founder Aurora, we are both employees in companies. We were always the ones who actually thought about systems and like how to systemize stuff.
Mm,
And we both already worked together in a digital marketing agency
okay.
for a few years. And so then last year summer, we discovered Clyde basically looking for solutions for our customers. We had at this time in the marketing agency looking for better ways of course, so we do lead generation. So we had
Hmm.
a lot of data, and then it's like, how do we give them this? Because we saw that they don't use it when we sent them an Excel. So we looked at different ways, and through that we found Clyde and another no-code tool. So we went through this whole journey of
Yeah.
testing these tools, tested all of them, and got stuck with Clyde, and we loved it. And then we actually very quickly decided we want to stop the marketing part.
Okay.
We never felt quite right there because we're always systematic people, and marketing is very subjective, also, right?
Mm,
And
yes.
so I think we're always looking for something else in our career, and then it made click. We founded Quapso, and now together we run it, and I think we are one very successful client agency, and
Yeah.
really love what we do right now.
So how do you spell is it coapsal? How do you spell that?
KWAPSO, super
KW. Is it
simple.
.com?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, .com. And it's perfect because we have now the website also in English officially to change because we're serving mostly the German market,
Okay.
German speaking market. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my browser can just automatically translate it for me.
Yeah. But,
Um,
but I like the translation we do because sometimes it's a bit more the nuances, right? So I
yeah,
like
yeah.
to change it myself. Yeah.
Um, okay, cool. No, I love that. Helping people kind of have a happier workspace. And like that probably
Yeah,
feeds
exactly.
into life also. But before we kind of dive into that, I'd love to hear you kind of touched on this a little bit. Like before you were doing this work, what was life like in and outside of work before you kind of stepped into this solutions design space?
Yeah, so I mean, I can talk only from my experience. Aurora has her own career standpoint with very funny stories of very big excels she had to deal with. But so my journey, especially as an employee, was I was working in an agency where we worked with industrial corporates,
Okay.
and the whole idea was already there to basically optimize a bit how they work in their factories, in their operations, facility management, all this kind of stuff. And this agency beforehand was a development agency, so they had programmers and stuff. So I had a little
Okay.
bit of a touch points of how it is to actually program
Yeah.
and like to do this stuff and how complicated it is and how also we were working. So we had no system, and I was always looking for where's the stuff, like where can I put something, don't need to do manual steps all the time.
Right.
And it was the first time because at this point I was also studying part-time in university, and you
Okay.
have this very theoretical approach from university of how things should be, and then you go in a medium-sized business. And at this point I understood, okay, enterprise businesses, they may have systems because they really can afford to pay someone
Right.
with old school technology and just build expensive stuff. But in these medium-sized businesses, what I was working and also working for, I saw that they all like work with Excel, it's very manual, and
Mhm.
as we said in the intro, it's very a burden of actually doing work itself
Mm,
because everything around is so complex and
yeah.
it takes so long. And and that's something what I just recently understood. At this point, it was all about the human resource. So
Mm-hmm.
all of and this I talk now with customers, everything was on the people, right? Like the whole company was basically not running as a company, as
Mm-hmm.
an own organization. It was like few people who was running the company
Mm-hmm.
because of however they thought they want to do it.
Yeah.
And this never felt super right. Then I did my own marketing agency.
Okay.
We were 4 people at this time and facing basically the same issue. How do
Yeah.
we do this? With our knowledge at this point, Aurora, my co-founder, was very familiar in Notion, so she built an entire Notion workspace for us.
Yeah.
So our entire agency at least was running on some system
Right. That's
in a
great.
way, and we had automations. This was amazing, and we just fell in love with more and more optimizing our system.
Mm.
And then when we found Clyde, I think it was for us like okay, we should do this as like actually our career, and we should make a business for this, and
Yeah.
helping now businesses, especially medium size
Mm.
businesses, to do that because that's the ones which are analog, and that's the ones which had maybe also not the possibility before low code, no code, and now
Yep.
AI to actually do something because they just had not the financial resources to get like a consultant for
Yeah.
500,000 to build some system,
Right.
build some automations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so true. The development costs for like coming into the era of technology was it
yeah,
just high. Like, let alone like
hi,
app and website development to like actually solve the problems, like the custom solving of problems, because so many businesses come in, they start doing the work, and then like things begin to change,
right.
and it's not always easy to stay up to date. That was one of my things over the past couple of years, even this past year specifically. I just felt kind of the weight of constant change of technology.
Mm,
And it was definitely a low point for me because I mean, I was in the no code space and like task management, workflow design, kind of teaching and
mm,
consulting, but I spent most of my time keeping up with all the changes. And
hmm.
that was
I
so
get you.
draining, and trying to do sales and build these proposals and scope out work. It was a lot. And so I kind of
Yeah,
pivoted earlier this year to teach more of the principles of technology
love
beyond
that.
the building solutions, because I
Mm,
learned years ago, and you might see this too with the people you work with. Some people want to trust the technology to just solve all their problems. That doesn't
yeah,
work when the technology is not the problem.
yeah, yeah,
Oftentimes it's a people problem, a process problem, and like people just don't realize that. And so
yeah.
pulling that out so that anybody that I work with can understand, oh, okay, this AI tool is supposed to do this. Or not even that. No, AI can do these three things. It can
Mm,
do a lot. But okay, well, I need this. Okay. And then I can just plug that idea into Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT. It's like once you can understand the purpose, you can choose any tool, any device.
All right, this is the perfect place to pause because in part two, Alex flips the whole find the perfect system idea on its head. He breaks down the toolbox approach, not one magic setup, but the right tool for the right season for the right reason. So you stop rebuilding your workflow every time life changes. Then in part three, we zoom out even further, what actually holds up over time, fixating on habits that make work stable, replacing work that doesn't matter as much as people think it does. How to design work so you're not resolving the same problems year after year. So, if any part of this you're thinking, I'm tired of starting over, you'll want to stick around for parts 2 and part 3. Subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the series, and if you want the full transcript sent to your inbox, click the link in the description below, and I'll send it your way. All right, part 2 is waiting for you, or you might like the episode that YouTube is suggesting over here.